So mine's called a Deadfall Trap. And I got this from my uncle. He's an elder. I don't ever call him an elder. He'll give you a lick. He still calls himself a young lad. He grew up as a trapper. He grew up with my grandfather and his brothers. They were all trappers. And this was their go-to trap for bear, because if you use just the regular leg hold trap, it's a spring-loaded trap. Then if the bear steps on it, and if the bear really wants to live, he can rip off he can tear the whole paw off. So you'll have a three-legged bear out there, which is no good. So they use the deadfall trap most of the time. And the thing with the deadfall trap is what you're aiming for. The weight that you have to use has to be 3 times of the animal that you're trying to harvest. So they use the deadfall trap for a bear. So the average weight of a bear is probably about 300 to 400 pounds. So the weight that you had to use was 1,200 pounds most of the time. And you couldn't do this on your own. So I didn't bring a big one. I brought a small one. I'll just set it up for you guys. And the concept behind this one, that is gravity. That's what I forgot to do. So you guys, everybody knows what gravity is, right?
What is it?
What is it? It's the force that makes things, well, what goes up must come down. So they harness the power of gravity to get their food on the table, which is cool. Because I asked my uncle, the stuff that they did, was there any science behind it? And then he showed me this, because he taught me about gravity. So you put, from the suggestions from the last presentation, I color coded everything so people could see where it's supposed to go. So the red, you put the red with the red, put in there good. The black with the black, and the pink with the pink. So I'll come over here. This is called the figure 4 deadfall trap. It's pretty tricky. You need a lot of patience, and if you're a hunter or trapper, you need patience. If you got no patience, then good luck trying to survive. There, I got it, first try. So what do you think's happening right now? Do you think gravity has something to do with this right now?
Yeah, it's pushing it down.
It's pushing it down, so where is it? Where do you think the pressure is? It's on all 3 points. All 4, I guess. This one, where the gravity is pushing the board down, and then in turn it's pushing this one down. It's balanced here, and it's connected. See? I almost trapped my hand. So I'll put it together here. And you can't just put this stuff together and say, I'll notch it here or cut here. You really have to. Because if you make it too good and too tight, it won't work. It'll just be one solid. It'll make it into one solid piece. So everything has to be good enough to hold it, but also light enough to trigger. So then this one right here is called the bait stick. This one's called the support stick, and that's called the weight stick. So now all 3 pieces work together to keep gravity from pushing the board down. So like I was saying, so whatever you're trying to get, the weight here can either be a log or a stone, a board. But if you put a flat piece of board, you can lay another stone on top of it. So that way it's a quick, humane kill. Because if it's too light and you pin the animal down, it's just gonna scream, and then it's gonna invite other predators to come take your food. And plus it's just gonna pin it down and you're gonna make it suffer. So you gotta make it heavy enough so it just lets up. So you put your bait here, and then the animal comes along, and then it'll fall. So that's how they use gravity to put food on the table.
Do you ever catch a mouse with one of those things? Or no? Can you catch mice?
I've never. There's so many different versions and variations of this thing. You can also get, if you don't have a board, you can also get sticks. Well, the same mechanism, but you put the 4 sticks this way, attached with string, blue string, and then you start building a pyramid. So you put that same, just get the sticks on top of the sticks. It'll build a pyramid all hooked up to a rope, and then you put that up where it's kind of like a basket, and you build the same mechanism as this one. Then instead of the board, you have that basket of sticks, and then you put your bait in there, and then that one's a bird trap. So you can get ground animals as well as birds with this kind of trap. And the outcomes it shows were assess how natural and man-made forces and simple machines affect individual society and the environment. And provide examples of a simple and complex machines used at home, in school, and throughout the community. The history has been used, I don't even know how long it's been used, it's a long time. And pretty much people stopped using them. They didn't really stop, but it was just not as popular as it used to be. To the leg hold and spring loaded traps in the 1850s. But a lot of people still use it. And I put under Aboriginal people, it's respect. They respect the Mother Earth. They respect all its animals, and they're from a young age we're taught to only take what's needed. Don't be greedy and take more than you need. So here's a diagram of that thing. Also put the sticks on there and where to cut them, how long they should be. And if you do this with your students, and if you want them to make their own, it'd be pretty wise to use extreme safety or do it yourself and just get them and put it together. Guys, you're using a saw or an axe, sharp blades. Anybody want to come try this? It's pretty easy. Just follow the colors.
I'll try, sure. So safety glasses. Okay, so what do? You walk me through this bear.
So just put the colors together.
Okay, red on red.
Red on red.
And then like this.
It's a puzzle. Figure it out. Like that, yeah. No. So this one's down. You gotta make sure this one's up.
Okay. Now there and there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so now.
But you gotta put some force into it so it stays together.
Oh.
Without the help of gravity, it won't stay together.
It's a good thing we're not trappers in the south. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave that.
So like I was saying, it's patience.
It's tough. I'm not a trapper.
If you're not patient, you don't need.
This guy can shoot a kilometer.
That's it. So this is my demonstration on how some people use gravity to put food on the table. Money in their pockets. See, I can do it now. That's it.
Then some little innocent bear would have came along, seen the meat, and took it.
There you go.